everybody, this is Travis Bowlin. I was going to do a quick little video here, rig rundown of all the equipment I used in the studio for the new album Secundus, including my guitars, amps, pedals, and microphones. I'd start out most of the rhythm track sections with the band doing those takes on my Wrobel 6-string cigar box guitar. This is equipped with a Lace Mini Nitro humbucker. This guitar is on nearly every one of those songs. As we would start out all the takes using this guitar, and then I would build up those tracks with other guitars. Most of my doubled up rhythm tracks, as well as a lot of the lead tracks, were done on this ES335, but the trick is this isn't an actual Gibson. This is a counterfeit I picked up in Australia on tour a couple years ago. This is one of those Chipsons. So basically this is a glorified Epiphone. So basically everything's really built like a high-end Epiphone. These are actually Epiphone components. Never swap those out. Like I said, a lot of the lead playing and a lot of the doubled up rhythms with this counterfeit ES335 here. The only acoustic guitar that was used on the project was this 1960s K DecoNote. This is a guitar that I used on I Can Let Go. Really old, no truss rod, kind of a catalog guitar. Has a really kind of nice warm little parlor sound. I'm definitely a fan of a beefier tone. Use a lot of humbuckers in neck position, but one of my favorite guitars is my Musicvox. This actually features two P90 single coils, which is a little bit beefier of a single coil. But this guitar was used on a lot of the thinner kind of single coil needed tones, like on Casalina Sand, Strange Vibes, and as well as Go To Girl. I used this guitar on that. Another cool guitar that I played all the guitar on Dancing with the Devil was this Rusty Taylor Secondhand Smoke cigar box guitar. This is equipped with the Lace matchbook pickup. Used that in the humbucker position instead of the single coil split. The amp that was used was a Peavey Classic 50. This is an amp that I did not own. It was owned by the studio engineer Nathan Smith, but I had experience with this amp in the past using it back when I first started learning how to play guitar. I usually dial in my bass about at 1 o'clock and my highs and mids at about noon. I like to ride the gain up pretty high and then dial in the volume enough to get a nice beefy full broken up sound, as well as a little touch of reverb and the presence at about noon. Now the first thing to always have in your pedals is something like this. This is a chromatic tuner. Now this is an old one, Arion. This is probably from the 80s. A friend of mine gave me this, and I've upgraded since then to one that's a little bit more newer and accurate, but you always got to have a pedal tuner in your arsenal for live shows and the studio. Now the next pedal we have here, this is an OverDrive pedal. Now this is a very inexpensive Joyo pedal. I bought this because last time I toured in Australia, my regular OverDrive caught fire. I used to use a TubeWorks tube powered OverDrive, but I had to get this in a pinch, and I actually really fell in love with this pedal. It's a very inexpensive OverDrive pedal. I usually keep the focus about middle, keep the drive pretty high, and then I utilize the volume however I need it in a live situation or studio environment. You can never leave home without a delay pedal. This is a pretty inexpensive vintage delay pedal by Behringer that I picked up. A friend of mine had suggested one of their other pedals for my solo show, and I really liked that pedal, so I sought out to get a few more that I may need. So we use this pedal. This one is, I really just dial it in as I go, however I feel appropriate for the song. That's how I dial this one in. This next one was kind of an impulse buy, but I fell in love with it again. This is another Joyo pedal that I picked up just because I had really liked that OverDrive I got in Australia real well. So I had ordered this because I've always wanted a fuzz. And one of the main things I had bought this fuzz for is because it has an octave shift. So when you solo and you're going higher up on the neck, you can shift, and it sounds like you're going even higher because you changed the octave. Now this is also something that I dial in. I usually keep the tone about middle, the fuzz about middle, and then I just figure out where I want that volume based on where I'm at in the environment. We use this a lot on several different songs on the Record Shop, You Know, You Are, a few other ones. So that's a great little pedal to pick up. And then last on the pedal board that I use in the studio is always you gotta have a wah. I'm a huge fan of wah, have been since I was a kid. This is just a CryBaby. I think I picked this up for $49 at a pawn shop. And this is one of my favorite pedals. Great way to express what you're doing. Eventually I'd probably end up gonna swap this out for one of those mini wahs just to save some room on the pedal board. So never leave home without a wah. For vocals, we used a Neumann TLM 103 and a Warm Audio 47. Preamps were used Universal Audio LA 601 and a Warm Audio WA73 and a WA2A. To mic the guitar amp, we used a standard Shure 57 with a Universal Audio M610 preamp as well as a DBX 160A compressor. Alright, there it is. Now you know. All the equipment that we use in the studio, the only other thing I used was my mind, my voice, and my fingers. She kicks me out her bed, her